again and welcome back to the channel. So today I am checking out the GeoJoe Classified series Snow Job. I picked this guy up from Robotoys, a distributor here in Australia. I'll put a link in the description. This is how much I paid for him. He is, I guess, a little bit more of a deluxe figure, bigger packaging, more accessories. So taking a look at the packaging, he has this newer look where you get an image of all the accessories, you get this nice artwork, and then on the back, I really like this, the whole loadout. However, I have since seen some images of newer packaging where they've returned to the plastic windows. So I am a fan of those, but you know, let's see if that is actually something that is going to happen or if it was just some mock-ups. So he is number 67 in the line, and some nice artwork there. As I said, on the back, all of his loadout, and then he does have the QR code and all his particulars if you're interested in that. So let's take a look. Okay, so here he is out of the packaging with all of his accessories. And as you can see, he comes with a lot of accessories, including 2 snow skis, 2 ski poles, a pair of snowshoes, goggles, a sniper rifle, removable clip, a sidearm, backpack, alternate hood, and an alternate head. So let's take a closer look at some of these accessories. So starting off with the alternate head sculpt. Now, this is a really nice sculpt. Let's just bring the default in for comparison. So in terms of the facial expression, they are identical, but this one obviously has the hood. So just remove the head, and you probably could get this out of that hood. In fact, I'm confident you could. Yeah, let's have a look and see. Don't know if it's designed to come out, and I might regret that, but there you are. So you can actually have several looks. You've got the default look with the hood, or you could have this look with the snow cap on and the hood down. So this alternate piece just sits in really snugly. And then you can have that look. So there's the third look. And I actually do like that. It's really cool. So the head sculpts themselves, man, that is tight. The head sculpts themselves do have this nice black wash in the beard. So this super red beard Snow Job has, but you can actually see it has a black wash all throughout. You can see it better on the hair. And then the eyes, there's something not quite right with this one's right eye. I think the paint application just spilled out. The white of his eye has gone onto the eyelid, so that's a bit of a shame. But they are really nice sculpts. Something which I've just noticed when I took this head sculpt off was that the paint has rubbed on this alternate hood on both sides. So that's a shame, but then I was a little bit rough with it. And then moving on, let's have a look at the other accessories. So this really nice sniper rifle. I'm not a gun guy, so I don't know the names of these rifles. I'm sure anyone watching might know the name of this. It does come with a nice removable clip. Something which is a little bit weird though is they didn't paint the shell. So you can see there is actually one shell there, but they didn't bother to paint it. I don't think I would have cared if it was just like that. It doesn't need to be removable, particularly if they're not going to bother painting it, because you're not going to pose him holding it. Anyway, so this is all just your standard Hasbro G.I. Joe plastic. It's not that hard a plastic that we've seen with other figures, but all the same, it is a nice sculpt. It is a little bit wonky, as most of these are, so you'd kind of have to just spend some time and manipulate it, making it look a little bit more realistic. But regardless, that's nice. Haven't seen that in the line yet. Nothing really to write home about here with the sidearm. It is a nice piece. I don't think we've seen this with any of the figures that I've come across so far. It's just straightforward matte black. Nice, however, that it does have the hole in the chamber there. And then these goggles, these are really nicely done. But are they easy to put on? Probably not with that sculpt, probably with this sculpt. Yep. Really easy to put on. So you got, what's that, 5 alternate looks? I think that's 5. But you can't, I mean, you could, I guess, stretch it over, but I don't think it's designed to go over this sculpt. And these are a very flexible rubbery plastic. And then he comes with these ski poles. Again, just that soft, bendable plastic, nothing really of note. Nice silver application at the end, but then just a straightforward matte black. And then the handles, which is supposed to be like a rope or string, is just sculpted, so it's completely solid. Snowshoes. These are actually really cool and really useful. I did have some problems getting a snow job to stand up, but you can see he does actually have the pegs, or rather these have the pegs, so you can just get it straight in, peg it on like that, 1, and then 2. There we go. And he won't have any issue standing up with those snowshoes on, so nice touch. And taking a closer look at these are pretty straightforward. They're quite a solid plastic. Not much in terms of application, just a little bit of a brown application on the trim. Everything else is this matte black, but there are some nice treads underneath. And then before I get to the backpack, let's take a look at the actual skis, these snow skis. These are, again, same colour scheme as the snowshoes, so all matte black apart from this brown trim. And the exact same. Pop it in and clip it on. 1 and 2. So again, he's not going to have any issues standing up with these. I don't know that I'll have room for him to have these actually on his feet on the shelf. Let's put his head back on because that looks really, really creepy. There we go. Yeah, but one thing which I really like about this figure is this backpack. Now, the backpack itself is a little bit light. It doesn't really have a lot going on. The sculpt is great, and it is a nice piece, really, really tough. But I feel like it's just a little bit plain. There's no other paint application on it at all. It's just this straightforward molded plastic colour. They haven't put any accents on it at all, or any washes. So that's a bit of a shame, but you know, I suppose if you are customizing your figures, it wouldn't really take much just to give it a nice black wash, black ink across there, dry brush it a little bit so it looks like it's been throughout the snow. But it is a nice piece, and I believe these actually go straight down. One, is that how they go? I actually don't know how they go. Okay, so is that how it goes? I don't know if that's how it goes. These definitely go down the side. You got these pegs, just clip out. Aha, okay, I've got it. So 1 and 2, and then the poles just clip in, and then the skis, let's have them, yeah, like that. Yep, probably, yeah, more like that. Let's take that out. Okay, making a bit of a meal of this. 1 and then 2. Yep, there we go. And then pole clips in, and then you do the same for the other side, and then I'm guessing that is for his rifle. Surely it is. Yeah, I think so. I think that's for his rifle. And then he has something here. Is that maybe for these? I think that's right. So he can really load him out. Basically, he can have everything on him. Jeez, that is an awesome looking figure. Man. Yeah, so have I done that right? Let me know in the comments. Is that how it goes? Sniper rifle in there, the snowshoes down below, skis, and then ski poles. I'm assuming it is. So taking a closer look at Snow Job, before I get started, I'll just do a quick comparison with the 25th anniversary. I was very fortunate that I managed to pick a Snow Job up almost mint. I don't open these figures, I do keep them mint on card, but I really like it when the G.I. Joe Classified figures pay tribute to the original figures, and you can see that although this is not a vintage figure, you know, it is very similar to the vintage figure, and you can see that it is so accurate. They've really taken everything that works with this figure and just, you know, emphasized it for a 6-inch figure. All the accessories are there, well, almost all of them. He's got the snow skis, he's got the backpack where you can peg in the skis. He also has a sidearm, the sniper rifle, and the snow poles. I don't know if the hood is removable, it looks like it is. He even has the goggles, so well done. That's a really nice touch. And then the figure itself, the first thing that I noticed was it has a bit of weight to it, quite a bit of heft. And I think that's because there's just a lot going on here. We haven't really seen this sort of figure so far. I do have Snow Serpent, but I've yet to review him. But when I do review him, pretty confident that there is going to be some reuse with that one or this one, depending on which one was released first, I'm not sure. But this figure, everything about it just works. It is a little bit clean, as most classified figures are, and if you are customizing your classifieds, this would be a great one just to add a bit of a wash to, or maybe a bit of a dry brush, some yellow dry brushing around the edges. But apart from that, it is very nicely done. He has, as I said earlier, this removable hood, so it just literally slips in this groove around the neck. So you can see he's got this trim there, so you can actually just interchange it. That looks creepy, looks like the Thing. But the fact that they included that and they took the time to make it so it is almost seamless, very nicely done there, Hasbro. The actual fatigues are all the same colour. Well, there's just these two tones, obviously white and then this darker white, or this very pale grey. The only standouts are obviously for the webbing. He has this brown webbing all the way around with this bolt gun metal clips, and same here for the belt. Now, one thing of note is this is actually a separate piece. So the jacket comes down and then he has this separate piece here for the bottom of the overcoat, and that's so you don't lose anything with articulation, and I will cover articulation a little bit later. So again, very nicely done. In terms of the hands, I've said it before, I'll say it again, we only get these standard holding hands, which if you don't have anything in the hands for your figures, it does look a little bit weird. I would love some fisted hands or just some open hands, but fortunately we just don't get in here. Sergeant Slaughter, I think, was the only one that came with alternate hands. Hopefully now that they are starting to release these, I guess, deluxe versions, it'd be nice to see some alternate hands as well. And then he also has a holster for his sidearm, and it just floats as a separate piece on the thigh, and you can actually just get the sidearm very nicely in like that. There we are. I am really sport for choice, or rather we are sport for choice with this figure when it comes to looks, because you do have this as look 1, you can have look 2 with the hood up, look 3 can be with the alternate head, and then look 4 is this with the goggles. So really you do have quite a lot of options. The only real issue that I've had so far is getting him to stand up. He is a little bit top heavy, so you kind of have to just have him leaning forward. And then with his loaded up backpack, you've got no chance of getting him to stand. Now I do have some ringside collectible stands that work with the JoJo Classifieds, which I'll probably have to use for him. However, as I said earlier, if you have the snow shoes or the skis on, he's got no issue standing up whatsoever. But with his backpack, yeah, he's too top heavy, or rather back heavy. He's not going to stand up at all. But overall, yeah, awesome looking figure. Okay, so taking a quick look at the articulation. Now I've lost count of how many JoJo Classified figures I've reviewed, and for the most part they all have the same level of articulation, with one exception, that being the Baroness figure, the first Baroness figure. In fact, both Baroness figures so far have had limited articulation at the knees and the elbows, not sure why, but every other figure have pretty much the same. There are some figures that are hindered because of their outfit or weapons or whatever it might be. This is a newer figure, so it is completely pinless, and for the most part the articulation is very good. In terms of the head, you get down to about there, up to about there, and then complete side to side. With the hood up, you are going to lose that because of the hood. Unless you have it up, you're going to move this hood up out of the well, so limited articulation with the hood, but it's to be expected. He has butterfly joints at the shoulder, and he also has the bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and then he does have a cut here at the wrist, or rather at the forearm, but it doesn't actually move. So you can see that it's a cut there, but it doesn't move. I'm guessing Snow Serpent will have the exact same arm, but a different hand and a different forearm. I haven't reviewed that figure, but I do have it, so that remains to be seen. But I'm guessing that's why, so that they can reuse this piece, because it doesn't move at all. And then he has full range of motion at the peg for the wrist. In terms of ab crunch, he does have a little bit of ab crunch to about there, and then he has a lot going back. And then, as I said earlier, he has this floating piece across the top, so it doesn't hinder the articulation, so you can get him from side to side as well. And it doesn't look out of place. In terms of the legs, that's where this is going to be a problem. So what we've won for, or what we've gained rather, for side to side at the waist, we've lost when it comes to the legs, but not really a big problem for me. I don't really mind that. So leg goes up to about there, but you can see it is actually squashing that piece out to about there, and then back not so much. He does have drop down legs, and then he also has a cut at the thigh, so you can get a bit of a rotation. Double jointed knee, quite stiff, which is definitely a good thing. And then he doesn't have any boot cut, but he does have a pivot and a rocker at the boot. So articulation is pretty good. Okay, so my final thoughts on the GeoJoe Classified series Snow Job. It's been a bit of a dry spell for me with classified figures of late. I only recently got my pile of loot shipped from the Big Bad Toy Store, and I hadn't received any of my orders from Robo Toys in quite some time. And I only really had a bunch of repaints, you know, the Crimson Bat, Outback, and the Lackluster Marauder Barbecue to review and look forward to. And in hand, I just thought these figures are just not good enough. I'm just going to get out of this line. And then Snow Job showed up, and I completely changed my mind. Snow Job is without a doubt my favourite figure in the GeoJoe Classified line so far. He is just a top-notch figure. Hasbro have really done him proud. He pays tribute to the original vintage figure, which is why I'm in this line. He has some fantastic accessories, loads of alternate looks. The only problem is that he is a Pulse exclusive, and unfortunately you don't have Pulse membership in Australia. And with other figures on the horizon which are either Walmart, Target or even Amazon exclusives, these better figures are becoming harder and harder to collect, particularly in Australia. So that really is the only problem. Distribution remains a big problem in Australia, so I give full credit to people like Joel at Robo Toys who can source these exclusives for us, because if I hadn't got this guy, I can tell you without a doubt I would have just got rid of all my figures and discontinued. But this has given me confidence. Snow Job is a great figure and highly recommended. Well, that about wraps up this review. I certainly hope that you have enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.